actually starting a range of techniques that called mobilization or stretching. Usually not many school teaches that because it really requires a lot more control from the side of the student. And I'll give you an example why. Okay? If, say, I would like to do mobilization of the arm, yeah, okay, I can do that fairly easy. Yeah? Now look at the quality that I'm moving the hand, the arm. Okay? Now my question is, can I do something similar to the head?
No.
No. Why?
You'll break it.
More nerves.
More nerves?
More
What's on the head that is sensitive?
Brain.
Brain?
Eyes.
Eyes, so sight. If you start doing that, you will get vertigo.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
Ears.
Ears. What do we
Ear.
have in the ears?
The drums.
The sense of balance.
Yeah, the-
So if I'll move the head this way, you
You're
can
gonna get
create...
a seasick.
Yeah. So when you're moving the head is really unlike any other body part because it's very sensitive to. So come around to here. Yeah, maybe if you want to come a little bit more below. Yeah. So when you're moving the head, you have to be very careful, and careful means very attentive in your approach. So when and you're using again a lot of your posture. For example, if I want to have my hands underneath the head, I'm not just going to come and clap it, but I move my hand one side, put one hand there, move it to the other side, and then having the other hand, and then cup it. Okay? So you try the least amount of lifting of the head. If I want to turn the head, I don't lift the head and turn it, I just roll it on the towel, on the bed. So really the least amount of lifting, the least amount of work that you need to do. Okay? Okay. Now let's think about the simple rotation. I can rotate the head this way, or I can rotate the head that way. What's the difference between the two? I'm using my body. So again, you're using your whole body, and that's in the way slows it down. And when it slows it down, they are relaxed. Now, why that happen? Why we need to be careful and relaxed when we're moving body parts? The reason is that the muscles are not only for contraction, but their sense of movement. If they sense a quick movement, what would cause the muscle to do? To contract. So you are up against the nervous system. If you're doing it too quickly, unattentive, there is no trust. So when you do that, you have to speak to the nervous system, really. You're not about the muscles, but you always look and see what's the response, yeah? So it's very much focused onto them, about what happened to them, and actually it's a bit of education for them to do certain things without nothing, without contracting. Okay. So now let's see which movement you can do with the head and neck. What kind of movement allows there?
What you can do is side to side.
You can do side to side. This is called side bending, remember? Now when I do the side bending, the ear goes to the shoulder, as opposed to rotation that you roll the head. Which movement is bigger?
Rotation.
Rotation is a lot bigger. Side bending is kind of small. Do you see that? But it's still existing.
And does that depend on the
I'm
client's
not sure that
flexibility?
with the knees is great onto table. Yeah? Okay. What else? What other movement? How does this call?
Stretch.
No, this
Or
one?
flexion.
Flexion. Good. Good. And the other one is?
Extension.
Now, can I do extension much?
No.
No? You can do it like that a little bit,
Lift the
but
neck.
I don't do it much.
Yeah.
And the last movement is actually traction.
Traction.
Yeah? So, traction. Yeah, so you're stretching the neck really. Yeah, you're stretching the neck. Okay, let's start with the simplest one, rotation. Now, in a way, you can do the mobilization to stretch or to mobilize or to work on other muscles that are kind of hard to reach. So when I mobilize, when I do rotation, I'm kind of very careful. So I prepare my body really. I decide where to put my hands. I don't lift the head, and then I slowly roll it. So I like to use two hands, maybe one on the back and one here, or maybe to the other side. But what I do also, I put a little bit of weight onto the head because I keep it heavy, and that's recognized by the nervous system as relaxation. Because when you relax, you're heavy. So when you're heavy, you're relaxed. That's kind of confusing the nervous system a little bit. So, and then you're slowly moving it by your body. Good. Now, in this position, you can do the following. First, you can stretch. Which muscle are you stretching now? Good. Do you see it stretching here? Yeah, good. So you can stretch it, but also you can stretch and work on the muscle. So one hand on the head, light, and then the other hand, I can do a nice pet massage here. This is a full rotation. If you want, you can take a little bit of rotation. So you put the head into half and then do it. What's the pros and cons? Here you're stretching the muscle fully. Here, because you're stretching the muscle is tightened. You can't go into deeper muscles. So you can bring it back. And then still stabilize it. Be careful that your thumb's not getting onto the cheeks or onto the eyes. Yeah, you have to be very careful. And then again, use your body. Good. You can go all the way to the suboccipital area. Good. Then you're ready to move to the other side. A lot of preparation. And then slowly roll onto the other side. Yeah. Again, you can do a nice stretches. In the stretches, think about this hand on the head is not moving, and the other hand does move. It's not big. Small movement. Keep it long. It's better to do a little bit less and longer than too much. Yeah? And then you can take it into massaging and stretching together. Even here, do you see the small movement? I still use my body. Okay. Side bending. Actually, shall we stop here and you start doing it? Yeah?
Yeah, can you-
Let me do side bending
Yeah.
and then we'll do the rest, okay?
Yeah.
Side bending. Okay. So you're putting one hand here and one hand on the other side and you side bend. Now it's a lot smaller movement. Which muscle do I stretch now?
Scapula elevator
Levator scapula and more
and scalene.
scalenes. And what the scalenes are very hard to find. The easiest way for me to tell you is that when you go to the back, you feel muscle. When you go to the side, you feel the side of the vertebra. Scalenes are very thin muscles on the side of the vertebrae. Yeah, very thin. So you can massage that all the way down. Don't go too further down because you're on the area where the blood vessels to and from the brain. Yeah? So if you're not sure, go backward, feel the muscles on the back, And then go one by one slowly, and then feel the side. Okay? And then you can go backward to the same. Drag the head really, nice and heavy. Don't lift it. Okay?